Good morning, folks. Welcome to Menlo Park Soldiers Home for 2025 Memorial Day services. I'd like to ask John Camaro, please come up and say a few words.
Good morning, everyone, and what a beautiful day today is. But today we remember the brave who went to war for us. Some as young as 17 because they lied on their application, and many of them were 18 and never came home. They died. They died in battle. They died for us. They died for our democracy, and they died for our freedom. And that should never be forgotten and we are honored to be able to remember them who gave their lives for us. And no president and no Congress should ever take that democracy away from us. So let's stay strong and make sure that we defend this country and keep it free. Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
Next, I'd like to ask Assemblyman Robert Karabinchak, please.
Thank you. Good morning. It's always humbling and it's always an honor to be here today, standing with our men and women here. But today we remember all of the men and women that fought for us, fought for our freedoms that we enjoy every single day. We honor them today. This should happen every single day of our lives, not just once a year, because we all respect what they've done. This is us respecting them. Thank you.
Mary Sam Joshi, please come up, say a few words.
Good morning and happy Memorial Day. I want to thank everyone for coming out today. This is actually a larger crowd than I've seen previous years, and it's mostly because it's a wonderful day. But on Memorial Day, let's remember that we are here in this country enjoying the freedoms that we do. We're able to live the lives that the joyous lives that we have because of those who have served, protected, and defended our country and all of our freedoms. It's something that should never be forgotten and always remembered, especially those who paid the ultimate sacrifice. Let's stop and remember them. Let's cherish their memories and remember that we are all under one nation, here to defend and protect our liberties. That's what every single one of us want to ensure that we do throughout our lives. Right here in America, we have to remember that all of us are here because of those who have served. So let's remember and cherish their memories. Thank you, everyone.
We're going to start our ceremonies. Everyone, please rise and join us in Pledge of Allegiance, led by Al from Soldier Home.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Again, our nation has assembled to honor its heroic dead. 1,000 battles, land, sea, air, echo the glory of the valiant deeds. Under quiet sword or beneath the more warming waves, their bodies sleep in peace. But destiny of veterans, their souls go marching on. Because of them, our lives are free. Because of them, our nation lives. When we recall the things that they did, the heroes' host seem mighty in our midst. When peril threatened and their country called, with a divine self-sacrifice, they left the path of peace to spring into arms, to make their breasts a barricade against nation's foes. No sorrow for loved ones left behind, could dim the purpose of their souls. The weariness of march and watch could keep them from their heart's desire. No horror of the fields or seas or air could beat their courage down. They fought for us as they fell. Now, with one accord in the deepest reverence, we do them honors. Let's not remember them in anguish, that they would not like our pity. For the sake, let us not forget the loved ones left behind. Our tears of words of sympathy cannot bring them back the comfort of those living hands or the music of their voices stilled. Only the solemn pride of having given more than rest is their way to weep. But all the world, because what they gave, is that indebted to them. Comrades, on this Memorial Day, let's pledge ourselves anew to patriotic service. Let us make ourselves the friends and brothers, sons and fathers of those who would not see their own again in mortal flesh. Let's grasp the fearless hands, the flag so nobly borne before, and like those others, planted with battlefields of new. Always stand with us today. You will not consecrate yourselves to emulate the sacrifice services of those who rest in the heroes' graves may not have died in vain. Let's stand with bowed heads in solemn memories of the dead of Peter. Captain, please uncover.
O God of hosts, we bow our heads in thankfulness for the victories thou hast granted us. To us and to those people who have united with us to stamp out the evils of aggression, intolerance, and greed, we beseech thee to bring the blessings of understandings to the families and friends in this and other lands, those who have given their lives that men may be free. Grant, O God, that the closest to the fallen may mingle the pain of their losses with the ennobling light of sacrifice for civilization, sacrifice for a better world for this and other generations yet unborn. Grant us now thy continued blessing upon unity and strength that makes victories possible in war, that we may win greater victories of peace. Amen. Cover.
Please place the wreath. Fire squad. I'm sorry we do not have taps today, but this concludes our services here at Menlo Park. Please have your headlights on and forward flashes, and please follow the police. We have a police assembly, police escort. Our next stop is Edison High School. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our Memorial Day street sign dedication. At this time, I would ask everyone to stand for our presentation of the colors. And please remain standing for our Pledge of Allegiance and the National Anthem.
Left, peace. Order, home. I ask that you all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for our national anthem.
For our national anthem, we welcome back once again Amy Boslett.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please have a seat, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, I'd like to introduce the Mayor of Edison, Mr. Sam Joshi.
Detail, hard, hard. Right, peace. Forward, hard.
Good morning, everyone. I'm humbled and honored to be here on this Memorial Day. I want to give you a brief history of the street sign dedication ceremony. It started many years ago, long before me, and I see Commissioner Tamaro was here earlier with us today. Actually, yes, he is, as well as our Assemblyman Robert Karabenchek. They'll tell you a little bit more about it as well later on. It was something that we wanted to keep going, and we wanted to continue to grow it. Edison has a very rich history in terms of those who have served our nation and our military, going back from Camp Kilmer and a little bit even before that, all the way to George Washington, when you look at the history of Old Post Road. We wanted to make sure that this memory was something that we always cherished, we were part of. And so one way that our community can continue to give back to those who have served is by dedicating the street that they lived on to that individual. We are only here enjoying the freedoms that we enjoy because of those who have served. We must be cognizant of the reality that there are folks that wish evil, that wish to harm our way of life, and we are never going to, as a country, let them break us, ever. We have to remember that everyone who serves in the military is doing so selflessly. And it's not just that individually that it is putting themselves in front to protect us all and enjoy our freedoms, but it's also their family members, each of you. Yesterday, I was contemplating whether I should say this or not, but yesterday I was watching a Netflix special on Zero Dark 30 and how they went into Afghanistan. And the individual who killed Osama bin Laden gave this interview, who very passionately explained what he was going through, of all of his emotions. And he described how when he got the call from the commander-in-chief and the CIA saying that he's going to go in for this mission, he explained that he hugged his kids thinking that it was going to be for the last time. And yet he knew that this was a mission that he had to do because he has to protect the greater mission of the United States. It's hard to describe, and now I'm not doing justice to describe that right now, but I want to just say from the bottom of my heart, for those of you who have served or who have had family who have served, thank you. Thank you for your service. We in Edison Township will continue to honor your legacy, and the small token of appreciation is by dedicating these streets to you. Now, normally we would go around and we would just do a few street sign dedications a year. One thing that we changed as soon as I got into office, I didn't like that. I just wanted to have, there were so many applications that we were getting, and it wasn't fair that we were only able to do 5 or 6 in a given year. And so I said, let's open it up. And now we're doing a whole lot more, and I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud because we want to continue to show our history in this community. And so with that, we're going to get right to it. I will call the names of each person and their family who is going to come up here and briefly describe or share a few words, and we will unveil each sign afterwards. And if I mess up on any pronunciations of names, I sincerely apologize. Beginning with World War II, Aviation Fire Controlman, 2nd Class, Carmen Casella.
Good morning. My brother, my sister, and I are grateful for this opportunity and honor to honor our father, Carmine Casella. My grandfather, Louis Casella, had served in the Navy for 8 years, including during World War I, so it was only natural that on his 18th birthday in 1943, my father marched into the recruiting office and enlisted in the Navy as well. I've always been very impressed by that fact because I doubt my 18-year-old self would have had the courage to do so. But that's the kind of man my father was. His country needed him, so he answered the call. Of course, I did not know my father at that time. The father I knew was the one who got up early every morning, ate his bowl of cereal, and went to work 6 days a week. Just like during his 3 years of Navy service, he did his job every day without complaint and without fanfare. I think it is very fitting that Deerwood Avenue now also bears my father's name, because he lived there for the last 45 years of his life. He was the very definition of consistency and dependability, and every day I strive to be more like him. Thank you.
Next, we have also serving from World War II, Seaman First Class Leonard Sarasia.
My father, Leonard F. Charasia, was born and raised in Passaic, New Jersey. In 1944, during World War II, he enlisted into the United States Navy 2 days before his 18th birthday. He was stationed in the Philippines and served aboard the USS Maui until his honorable discharge in 1946. Back in Passaic, he began his career. He married and started a family. A job opportunity took us to the Chicago area for a couple of years, but in 1961, he moved his family back to New Jersey, settling in Edison, where he lived for 50 years until his death in 2011. Through the years, he enjoyed everything the township had to offer. He was an avid gardener and a diehard Yankee fan. He coached at Midtown Little League and was one of the founding members of the Edison Elks Lodge on Old Post Road. On behalf of my father and the Charasia family, I'd like to thank the mayor's office and everyone responsible for this great honor. My father would have been thrilled. Thank you all.
Staff Sergeant Anthony L. Grabowski from World War II.
Good morning, everyone. I just want to say on behalf of my family, I want to express our deepest gratitude to everyone involved for this incredible honor. Dedicating a street sign in memory of my grandfather. He moved from Jersey City to Edison in 1959 and lived on Solomon Road with his family until his passing in 2003 at age 88. My grandfather was a good and humble man who served his country with honor and worked very hard his whole life to take care of his family and provide for them. Thank you for recognizing this contribution in such a meaningful way. This street sign will not only keep his memory alive for those who knew him, but hopefully will also inspire all those who see it. We are honored and forever grateful. Thank you.
From World War II, Private Rifleman John Karabinchak.
Thank you, Mayor. My name is John Karabinchak Jr., and I'm here to talk about my father, who's senior, who lived here for many years, and he served in the Conservation Corps. I don't know if anybody knows about that, but that's a long time ago. And on March of 18th of 1944, he joined the military as a rifleman, as a private in 1944, and was induction May 18th. He served with great distinction because he loved his country, and I love my country also. And I want to thank everybody for recognizing him, and the mayor, who's also done a great service to represent people who've served, especially in the Second World War. He was in the 13th Infantry, the 79th Division, and he served in France and went over on October 1944 and was wounded by a German sniper. And as the German sniper got a hold of him, he did a pretty bad job about wounding him in both arms and the bridge of his nose. And for that, he received the Purple Heart. He also received the Bronze Service Star, the Combat Infantry Badge, and of course, his Purple Heart. I miss him, and the indication for the street sign in his honor is very appreciative of me and the rest of the family. I don't want to belay everything else there, but I want to thank everybody for letting you know that I appreciated it, and it touches my heart. And I thank you very much, and the mayor also.
Thanks. Hi, everyone. I'm Rob Karabinchak, John's other son. I just want to look at this great crowd here today, and I just wanted to say a few things. Whatever service that your father, your grandfather, your son, wife, or anyone that was in whatever military service they served in, there is a special bond that goes on for perpetuity, regardless of where you are. This nation respects you. This nation thanks you for everything that you've done. And without you, we wouldn't all be sitting here with the freedoms that we enjoy every single day. God bless you and all your families. Thank you, Mayor.
Another from World War II, Quartermaster Second Class Jack Milazzo.
Good morning, all, and thank you for this honor. My father, Jack Samuel Milazzo, he was at the start of World War II, December 7th, 1941. He was a senior in Perth Amboy High School. And then he felt it was his duty to enlist, which he did shortly thereafter. And he served with distinction with the United States Navy. He participated in how many of the conflicts in the South Pacific. He was there for the invasion of the Philippines, and culminating with he was in Tokyo Harbor for the surrender. He was originally from Perth Amboy. In 1959, he had a tract of land that he had bought, and he was an operating engineer. He bulldozed the street. He was the general contractor for 4 houses on that street, and then he lived there until his demise. He was a life member of the Edison First Aid Squad, member of operating engineers. He tried to help his community. He would always go to council meetings, and this is a great honor that naming his street after him, especially since he built the street. I thank you all.
From World War II, Private First Class Charles A. Murdoch.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Of course. Thank you so much. Hello, and happy Memorial Day to everybody, and especially to our men and women in our military. My name is Bob Murdoch. My dad was a Private First Class Charles A. Murdoch. He served honorably in World War II as a medic in the United States Army, and he received the following honors: European, African, and Middle Eastern Ribbon, a Good Conduct Medal, and a Victory Medal. He endured and took part of amphibious landings in Africa and in Italy, very similar to the opening scene in the movie Saving Private Ryan. After the war, he married his sweetheart, my mom, Betty, and in the 70s, he continued his passion for helping people by becoming a life member of the Edison Volunteer First Aid Squad No. 1. He also gave much of his time to the hemophilia community, benefiting families in New Jersey. He was an avid New York Mets and Giants fan. He lived on Old Post Road for over 50 years and served as an Edison committee man. His job was a meter reader for PSE&G, and he did that for 32 years before retiring in 1986. My dad was my hero, and he was a role model that we all could look up to. Charlie passed away in January of '03, survived by his wife, Betty, who still lives in the house, by me, his daughter-in-law, Pam, and his granddaughter, Christina. Now, thanks to the heartfelt generosity of the Township of Edison, Mayor Sam Jossi, Mary, Ashley, and Brian, and the entire staff, Charles Murdoch will never be forgotten, and he will forever be honored for his service to our country on the corner of Old Post Road and Garden Terrace. Thank you so much.
From World War II, we have Private First Class William A. Nemeth.
Hi, everybody. I'm here for my dad, William Nemeth, a great man. He did a great service for our country. He moved to Edison in 1956 from Newark, New Jersey. He did a great service in this town. He raised 13 children. My mom's name was Dolores. Sometimes we call her Saint Dolores because she was a saint. And I'm sure my dad and my mom are right here in spirit. What a great family. What a great dad. And everything he did for Edison Township. He belonged to St. Matthew's Holy Name Society. Boy, he was big there too. Never missed a day at church. Again, I want to thank everybody for being here. I came up here unprepared as far as not having anything wrote down, but I'm going off the wing here. And how much time I got? No. I can be up here all day talking about my dad and our family, and it'd be all positive, all great things. He was special, and I'm sure everybody's dad is special. But in our heart, you had to be there and meet him. He welcomed anybody into our house, no matter who you were. He had a porch. You sit down on the porch and you drank your Canadian Club and watch TV. And my dad was, boy, did he like his fishing? I'm sure he's doing it right now. So on that note, folks, on behalf of everybody here, thank you, thank you, thank you. We got another 30 seconds? Thank you.
We'll do some photos afterwards too, especially for those who have very large families. 13 kids, quite a bit. Private First Class from World War II, Eugene Raisley.
Thank you, Mayor, for this great program that you produce for everybody and the veterans, recognizing all the veterans. My dad served with Patton in World War II. His two brothers served, one in the Navy and one in the Army. The one brother landed in Normandy. And my dad, towards the end of the war, wanted to visit his brother, and he was in the motor pool. And he got a vehicle, not the easiest vehicle to drive. He got a half-track, and he decided to go see my uncle, who landed in Normandy. It was towards the end of the war, and apparently the vehicle ran off the road in Austria, and he got a concussion. And the Austrian people took him out of the vehicle, took care of him for a couple of days, and they got the vehicle back on the road, and the motor pool sergeant was wondering where he's at. You know, he didn't show up for a couple of days, he's gone. But he never got to see his brother, and I think there was a lot of war stories when I was a kid with the three brothers about the Navy, the Army, and it was really something. I can't even remember all the stories. But I appreciate everything today, and thank you for all the veterans for what you did.
Also from World War II, Corporal Eugene M. Taganelli.
Good morning. I'm Jeannie Tanganelli Romanovsky. I'm the daughter of Eugene Michael Tanganelli, and on behalf of all the members of our family, I just want to extend our sincere thanks to the committee and to the Township of Edison for honoring my father and so many others in today's ceremony. Our family holds many fond memories of the corner of Old Raritan Road and Webb Street where I was born and raised. We're truly grateful that they named, now that his name is on this street and he'll be recognized by the entire community. Thank you again for all the meaningful tributes. It's a beautiful day. Thank you, everybody.
From World War II, Seaman First Class Henry B. Toro.
Good morning. My dad was born and raised in Jersey City. On his 18th birthday, before his 18th birthday, he had his father sign for him to go into World War II to the U.S. Navy and served on the USS Los Angeles. He moved to Edison in 1961, and he had 3 children, 7 grandchildren, and he passed in 2009. And then he had 4 great-grandchildren after that. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
From World War II, Lieutenant William Toth, MD.
Good morning, my name is Jim Toth. That's my dad, Dr. William Toth. Dad was a lieutenant in the Navy's Medical Corps. Dad was a surgeon aboard the USS Menard APA 201 in a hospital ship, USS Comfort. Dad was in Guam, Okinawa, Philippines, and Dad was the first medical team to arrive in Hiroshima after the atomic bomb was dropped. Dad was a councilman and president of the Board of Health for close to 20 years before his death. The health center on Idlewild Road is named in his honor. I want to thank the mayor, Bob, and their staff for this wonderful event. I also want to thank my wife, Debbie, for helping me. I love you. And thank you, everyone, for listening about my dad, who is my hero. Thank you.
From World War II, Specialist 4th Class Harold R. Vlett.
I once asked my grandfather what the greatest accomplishment of his life was. He said he had two: his family and his service to his community. H. Ray Vliet left for World War II from Camp Kilmer and was stationed in Stuttgart, Germany. He was assigned to the constabulary, but we always joked that he typed his way through World War II. Once returning home, he started his own TV and radio repair business before joining the Edison Fire Department and retiring as the first fire chief of the department. During his post-war years, he was a member of multiple organizations, which allowed him to continue his service to his community, which he began during the war. He was married to the love of his life, Ilsa, and together they welcomed 2 children, 4 grandchildren, and 6 great-grandchildren together. While today is a true honor for the memory of H. Ray Vliet, the greatest honor was to be able to serve his country and his community. And to finish, as he would have said, thank you for listening.
From World War II, Technician 3rd Class Charles J. Whitekovich.
Good morning, everybody. We're here to represent my father, Charles Whitekovich. He was born in Monterey City, Pennsylvania, into a coal mining family. At age 10, his father died. He had to go into the mines, where he worked there until World War II. Charles enlisted in the United States Army, November 1942, and entered active service in March of 1943. He served as an automobile technician, 3rd grade, in the 564 Ordnance Maintenance Company. His recognitions and citations included American Campaign Medal, the Pacific Campaign Medal, Good Conduct Medal, and a World War II Victory Medal. He was honorably discharged from the military service in 1946. Charles Whitekovich and Laverne Whitekovich built a home on Utica Road, located at 57 Utica Road, Edison, for 55 years. He was a life member of the HK Volunteer Fire Department on New Dover Road. He also served as past chief for the department. And me and my sisters would like to thank him and thank everybody for coming.
Next, from Korean War, we have Lance Corporal Robert P. Corrett.
This is an honor to put the sign up for my dad and honor his service. My dad was born in a small town in New Hampshire and raised there, and married my mom in 1951 in New Jersey. So he moved to New Jersey. Shortly after they were married, he was drafted into the Marine Corps, where he did his Parris Island, then moved on and became an aircraft electrician. My dad was always into fixing things, taking things apart, and he wanted to know everything about everything. He worked on the early jets when he was in, and ended up, he was in from 1952 to 1954. He moved to New Jersey, but didn't move to Edison until 1957, and that's where he spent the rest of his life, in this town. And he's my hero. He's a good man, and we'll always have fond memories of him. Thank you, everybody.
Also from Korean War, Boiler Tech 3rd Class Frank W. Ferguson.
Good morning. On behalf of my brother, my sister, and the whole Ferguson family, we want to thank Mayor Joshi, the mayor's office, the council, and the police and fire departments. We'd also like to thank and congratulate all of the families here today. My dad, Frank, was extremely proud of his years serving in the Navy during the Korean War, but he was equally proud of his service and dedication to Edison, having lived here since it was Raritan Township. He was a founding member of the Edison Moose Lodge, achieving its highest honor, the Pilgrim degree. He was also very involved with the Edison Sheltered Workshop since its inception. And for over 50 years, 212 Penn Avenue was our family's home base. I know my dad would be as pleased as we are that you're honoring him and everyone else here today. So from his children, his grandchildren, and his great-grandchildren, thank you very much.
From Korean War, Sergeant Frank D. Hall.
Good morning, everybody. It's been, it took this event here to get me back into this building after 41 years, so thanks for that, appreciate it. So my name's Wayne Hall, and our family wants to recognize Frank D. Hall III, who recently passed away just 4 short months ago. He served in the Army, where he was stationed in Korea, in Busan, Korea, from 52 to 54, where he achieved the rank of sergeant. As he came through and finished his deployment, he came through Kilmer before he ever knew that he would be coming back to Edison as his place where he would live for many years. So actually, he started as an electrical engineer, and as he used to tell us, that if he relied on electricity for him based on his skills in that area, they would have all had candles. So they moved him to a public relations specialist, where he traveled extensively and wrote articles for the military publications itself. So he married our mom, Joyce, in 1955, and in 1962 is when they moved to New Jersey and settled on Putnam Avenue, where they raised a family, so Susan, David, and myself, where Mom still lives today. And actually, this year is the 70th anniversary for Mom and Dad. So thank you, Mayor Joshi, and for the staff for developing this meaningful program. Dad certainly would have loved seeing the sign on the corner of Plainfield Avenue and Putnam Avenue, a wonderful honor. Thank you all.
Also from the Korean War, Private First Class Anthony D. Lepore.
Thank you. First, I'd like to thank everybody on behalf of myself and my family for this great honor. There's no way my father would imagine he'd be able to look out of his house and see this sign with his name on it right in front of his house. So, my dad was trained in Fort Sill, Oklahoma as an artillery survey specialist, and then he was shipped to Korea. He guarded these missiles. They were called Honest John missiles that were pointed toward the north, and that was one of his big jobs. At the end of his time in Korea, he came home and he worked as a land surveyor for 42 years. And not long after that, he met my mom, who they were married for 61 years. Not long after that, 3 children. They moved to Edison Township, where he was a resident of Edison for 57 years. He has 6 grandchildren. I wrote a big, long thing for this, but I want to speed it up for you. And that's he would have been very proud of this. He wouldn't believe it that you did all this, and I want to thank you again for this. Thank you.
From Korean War, Private First Class Robert D. Twist, Sr.
Good morning. My name is Dawn Twist Gagnon, and on behalf of my brother, Robert Twist Jr., his wife, Maureen, my sister, Lori Twist, my husband, Brian, and our entire family, we'd like to thank Edison Township for this opportunity to honor our father, who passed away 36 years ago, but whose memory still lives on strongly in our hearts. Robert D. Twist Sr. was born in Kearney, New Jersey in 1929, and proudly served our country in the Korean War from 1951 to 1952, working in the motor pool as a mechanic, a behind-the-scenes role that literally kept things running. Our grandfather, Thomas Malcolm Twist Sr., was adopted into the Twist family and then proceeded to have 11 children. 7 sons and 4 daughters. Our dad was one of 5 brothers who proudly served in the military for their family. It's not a surprise he was a mechanic, since our grandfather owned Twist Garage in Kearney, and 7 of his sons worked there, basically from the time they could pick up a screwdriver. After the service, he came home and he married his best friend's sister and his neighbor, Anna DeLuca Twist. He had 3 children, 6 grandchildren, and 5 great-grandchildren. Together, they built their life settling in Edison in 1960. Dad would tell you he was a Ford specialist, working many years in Kearney while still living in Edison and commuting, then working at Borough Motors in Metuchen for many years before he passed away in 1989. Back in the day, neighbors used to work on the barter system. Dad would fix your car, and if you were a plumber, you'd fix our sink. That's kind of how it worked back then. Many weekends, there was someone's car in our driveway. My parents were the most patriotic people you ever met. Our entire lives growing up, we were involved in American Legion and VFW and all the things that go along with it. Dad would be the bar chairman, and Mom would be handing out poppies at ShopRite, running some event, or marching in a parade. We were very fortunate. They instilled in us the love of our country and the men and women who dedicate all or part of their lives protecting our freedom. Our dad lived with humility, warmth, and strength, and today, with the dedication of the street sign at the corner of Brookville and Idlewild Road, we're honoring not just the veteran, but the husband, father, grandfather, and friend that he was to so many people who knew him. We'd like to thank everyone at Edison Township who was involved in this process, and specifically my brother Bob, who submitted the application so our family legacy could live on in Edison. Thank you.
Moving on to the Vietnam War, Sergeant Frank DeSanto, P. Santo.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for being here. I have the great honor to speak on behalf of my amazing, remarkable grandfather, Frank DeSanto. While we are gathered here today, I want to highlight his very special life filled with courage, love, and compassion. Frank spent many years in service to America as a decorated soldier. During his service in the U.S. Army in Vietnam and Cambodia, Frank showed true bravery in the face of danger. When he put on his uniform, it was not for recognition or glory. It was because he believed in his duty and his country. Even during those hard times, he carried himself with humility and strength. But he was more than just a soldier. He was a passionate teacher to many students, but most importantly, he was my family. He was a loving, kind person who always had a funny joke to share. I will always remember the times we spent together sharing meals, reading books, and playing games. I fondly remember watching and marching with him during a Memorial Day parade. Today, this street sign will now bear his name. It's a simple marker with a powerful meaning, ensuring that his story won't fade with time. Thank you.
From Vietnam War, Boiler Tech 3rd Class, Richard D. Drexler.
Hey, thank you very much for being here. Thanks for making this a great Memorial Day today. My father went into the Navy right out of high school. He served 4 years. He was in the Pacific. He was on a couple boats. He was very proud to serve. Then he came back to Edison in the early 80s, raised a beautiful family. Now we have a beautiful sign on the corner of the same house that we grew up in. And we just appreciate all of it. And thank you very much.
From Vietnam War, Private Peter P. Kaspersky.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning. My name's Chris Kaspersky. I'm the son of Peter. On behalf of my sister and my family, I'd like to thank the township, the mayor's office, for this beautiful recognition of my father. My dad was drafted in 1966, went to boot camp in St. Louis, and after boot camp was stationed in Fort Hamilton, New York, and then was sent to Germany for Vietnam. He was in the 1st Battalion, 87th Infantry, 7th U.S. Army. He was a private E-1, marksman and rifle, National Defense Service Medal. He was discharged early, overseas program in 1968. Mom and Dad got married in Jersey City in 1969, where he was born and raised. They moved to Edison in 1972 and raised 3 children on Fairfax Road, giving us an amazing life. Dad was a resident for Edison for 48 years. He worked at Twin County Groceries midnight shift for 25 years before they closed. And then he finished out as a crossing guard for the town division in Plainfield Ave. He loved it. Dad passed away in 2020. He's my hero. We miss him, and thank you for this.
From Vietnam War, Fire Control Tech 3rd Class, Ronald W. Kermis, Sr.
Good morning. I am Ron Kermis Jr., and I'm here to honor my dad, Ron Kermis Sr. My dad was born and raised in Edison. He was a proud veteran of the Navy. He served 4 years, 4.5 years, because he reminded me about that for about 50 years. Right, Gene? And he was very proud of that position. As well, he retired as captain on the Edison Fire Department. Service 25 plus years. He was a son, a brother, a husband, and a great father. And recently, last year, he became a great grandfather to our little Joseph Ronald Kermis. Loved by many, respected by all. Thank you to Mr. Mayor Joshi and the Township of Edison. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
From Vietnam War, Specialist 4th Class, Michael J. Nagy.
Good morning. My name is Amanda Nagy McGee. I'm up here speaking on behalf of my brother Rich Montoro and my sister Krista Takich. Mike was drafted into the Vietnam War on January 13, 1966. After basic training in Louisiana, Mike was assigned to the 1st Infantry Division, also known as the Big Red One. As part of the Indirect Fire Infantryman Mortar Squad, he operated the 4-deuce mortar, tasked with setting up, loading, and firing mortars behind enemy lines. After his tour of duty, Mike was honorably discharged from the U.S. Army as a Spec 4 on January 27, 1968. Upon discharge, he was awarded the National Defense Service Medal, Vietnam Service Medal, Vietnam Campaign Medal, and Good Conduct Medal, and Combat Infantryman Badge. My father was born and raised in Edison. He married our mother, Lynn, in 1977. And was with her until she passed in 2018. My father passed almost a year ago this year. While my dad had his opinions about the Vietnam War itself, he was always proud to have served his country and continued to support veterans of all wars for the rest of his life.
Also from Vietnam War, Boiler Tech 3rd Class, George R. Newton.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Michelle Kaspersky, and George Newton was my dad. An amazing man and a very proud Navy veteran. He attended his ship reunions every year with pride, ringing the bell in honor of his fallen shipmates. Sadly, last year, that bell now rings in his memory. On behalf of my family here in Jersey, my sisters in Georgia and North Carolina, my niece in Hawaii, whose husband is serving in the Marines, and my stepfamily in Florida, I want to sincerely thank Edison Township for this honor. I love and miss you terribly, Dad. Thank you.
My name is Gavin Kaspersky, grandfather George, grandfather Peter. Some of you may have seen me. I've been playing taps for Veterans Day and Memorial Day for probably almost 12 years now. I just want to say thank you to the mayor, thank you to Shrek, Tingle, Enoch. You guys know how long I've been doing this. It's a little weird being on this side since I've been doing this since probably 2015. I've been seeing a lot of names, a lot of families, and it's nice to actually see, both sides of my family remembered in this town. So I just want to say thank you, everyone, and God bless everyone.
From Vietnam War, Specialist 5th Class, Wayne G. Swensberg.
Thank you, everyone. My dad was born a coal miner's son, one of 6 kids raised in an era that taught him an old-fashioned work ethic and a deep pride in his country. A huge country music fan, at 14 he saved up to buy a guitar and learned to play by ear. He joined the Army in '57, honored to serve his country for 6 years. His guitar went with him, and while stationed in Germany, he formed a band to entertain his fellow servicemen from back home. He actually got in trouble once for bringing his guitar on guard duty. Back home, he met and married my mom, his wife of 60 years. A loving and devoted father, he brought our home in Edison when our junior was born, where they've lived for over 50 years. He continued to support veterans organizations throughout his life and proudly flew his American flag daily, always raising 3 on patriotic holidays like today. A hardworking family man, he retired from Sherwin-Williams at the age of 74. He enjoyed entertaining family and friends with his guitar every chance he got, and he loved a good joke. He continued to play music as Wayne Glenwood in nursing homes into his late 70s, always ending with patriotic songs, his son clapping along at his side. He always spent most of his free time with his special needs son, my brother, Wayne G. We lost Dad 3 years ago. Getting this sign for him would have made him and my brother smile, but we recently lost my brother as well. So Mom and I carry on believing that with his son beside him in heaven, Daddy is finally actually resting in peace. We miss them and hope he knows how thankful we are for his dedication to our family and our country, and we continue to put his flag on the porch daily and 3 on patriotic holidays. And just a quick note, when they put his sign up, when they unveil, you're going to notice that it doesn't say Meadow Road and it doesn't say Murray Street because they put the Murray Street sign back wrong. And his sign is actually on Murray Street, which is good because we can see it from our porch. Thank you so much.
From Vietnam War, Seaman David W. Whittle.
Good morning, all. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you to all Edison Township for the recognition of this veteran service. My dad was a warrior, first in his service in Vietnam. My younger sister and I knew he was, most did not. Also, our grandfathers were veterans too. But we did not know any details of his war experiences because he rarely spoke about them. His time in the service deeply impacted him. On the outside, he was not demonstrative, but if you got to know him, he was funny, kind, smart. He was great at Jeopardy, a whiz at sports, also coaching me and my sister. But he vigorously read and watched films on wars and history. Really not sure why. Later in life, he became a warrior again, this time for 7 years battling a fatal, rare, debilitating brain disease that may have been related to his service. We lost him in 2023. I believe that he's watching over us as we go on without him. I think that he's proud of us. Until we meet again, Dad, in our minds and forever in our hearts. Thank you.
Moving on to peacetime, Specialist 4th Class Ralph G. Evans.
Good morning and happy Memorial Day. I'm a nephew of Ralph Evans. My Uncle Ralph joined the United States Army in 1958 when he was 23 years old. He completed his basic training at Fort Monmouth, New Jersey, and then went on to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, where he attended Communications Specialist School and Field Radio Repairman School. Ralph completed 4 years of active service in a field artillery unit where he operated and repaired radios. He concluded his service with 2 years in the Army Reserve and was discharged in 1964. Ralph was the second son of Charles and Ida Evans. He was a dedicated and loving son who took care of his parents throughout their lives. He was loved and admired by his nephews and niece as an interesting conversationalist with a quick mind and a great sense of humor. Ralph worked and lived here in Edison for many years and was an active member of numerous organizations. He volunteered much of his time to the American Legion, where he enjoyed countless hours with his wonderful group of friends. We'd like to thank the mayor of the Township of Edison for honoring the memory with this street dedication. Thank you.
Before we wrap up, I do want to just say these stories are so heartwarming. When you hear about a story about, one, how large some of these families are, or the guitars that were played or brought during service time, these are the memories that we, as a community, not just as individual families, as a community, we must cherish and remember. And it is a vision of mine, as well as my administration's, to make sure that these memories, especially for the couple hundred signs that we have out right now throughout the town, get recognized. I would like to achieve having these photos as well as a little blurb for everyone who served in future mile markers, historical mile markers throughout the town. And it's something that we've discussed, whether it be along a bike path or a walking path. I truly believe in my heart that you'll only know where you're going as a community as long as you know where you came from. And it's so important, especially for the kids that are growing up nowadays, to make sure that they understand the rich history of Edison Township and all that was done to build the community to what it is today. These are the roots and foundations and memories that were laid, and they should never be forgotten. They should always be remembered as we move on. So before we conclude, I want to wrap up by thanking the Veterans Committee and a few others that helped put this together, beginning with Ryan Schreck. Where is he? Right here. David Tingle. Enoch is here as well. There he is. Bob Deal, my Chief of Staff. Mary McAvoy, who is my assistant, who's been doing this for every year. She's been doing an outstanding job. I saw her earlier. Brian Clancy, who helped. He spent a couple days in the rain. And I was like, "You're really doing it in the rain?" He goes, "Yes." As well as all the elected officials who are here with us today, including our Assemblyman, State Assemblyman Robert Karabinchuk, and our Councilman Joe Coyle, who has done an outstanding job supporting all of this. So I'm going to pass it off to, oh, there's a few more people, I apologize. The Police and Fire Honor Guard. Amy Boslett, who sang the national anthem. And Edison TV, right in the back, who also helped coordinate with Brian. And with that, I'm going to, Commissioner Charles Tamaro is here as well. He's behind me. I'm going to pass it off to Brian Schreck.
All right, my comments are very brief. We want people to understand what the street signs, how we designed them. When you send your application in, people put on nicknames and stuff like that. When I'm doing the street signs, I don't even look at that. I look strictly at their DD-214, their discharge papers. That's why H. Ray Valite's real name is Harold, and that's what I go by. Also, people were wondering, like, how do we come up with calling the names? We do it World War II, Korea, and then alphabetically. We tried to be fair as possible, so that's where we come up. And you'll see on some signs different medals. I look and see what is the highest 2 medals your recipient got from the military, and that's what we put on it. Unfortunately, some only had 1, so I do the best I can. It's kind of painstaking going through DD-214s and finding everything, but we want these signs to be the best signs in the entire state. And I drive around in other towns, and none of them look as good as Edison's. So you'd all be proud. Again, it's an honor for me and my 2, Dave and Bill, the 3 of us going through all these applications. And just so people know, we don't say, oh, we're not giving this one. Every application that we have received since the 3 of us took over has gotten a street sign. So we don't handpick, and we want everybody to understand. One thing before I bring up the commissioner. Normally right after this, we go to Veterans Park at 12 o'clock. We thought this was going to run longer because instead of doing 15 or 16, we're doing 27. We didn't know how long it was going to go. But at 1 p.m., we will be laying wreaths at Stony Road and Route 27, the Veterans Park that was started by former mayor back there, Tony Resigliano, dedicated the park to us veterans. We'd love to see you all out there as we lay our wreaths. It's about a 10 to 15-minute ceremony. Thank you, and now, Commissioner.
I'll be here until 1 o'clock. First of all, this was an idea of Peter J. Barnes III when he served on the Edison Council in the mid-1990s. And Peter wanted to do something to really honor our veterans and our veterans who we've lost. So he came up with the idea of dedicating streets to our veterans. And so we came up with the idea, we want to know who should we honor first? Who should be that first person that we honor? So I brought this up to my wife, and she goes, George Red Ellis. And everybody knows George Red Ellis. He was the little guy who was always behind the camera at Edison TV. He was a World War II veteran, fought in the Battle of Bulge, was captured by the Germans, spent 3 months at a POW camp. When he escaped, he was recaptured again and escaped the second time. So, he was an amazing man. We lost him last July at 98 years old, and he really served this community in a great way. So I want to thank the mayor and his staff for putting this together like it is, because we used to do 2 or 3 streets, either on Memorial Day, 2 or 3 streets on Veterans Day. In order to do 27 streets, it would have taken 5 or 6 years to do. So thank you for doing this and bringing all these families together. It's a great honor. And we heard that today. We heard that, and many of the people came up here and spoke how proud they are to have that sign on their street by their home. Thank you.
The honor guard's going to come up, and then the chaplain will come up and say the prayer.
Okay. Did you hear that? The honor guard is going to come up, and we're going to do the veterans prayer right after. If everyone could please rise for the Veterans Prayer by Ken Durkin.
Gracious God, on this Memorial Day, we pray for those who courageously laid down their lives for the cause of freedom. May the examples of their sacrifice inspire in us the selfless love of your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ. Bless the families of our fallen troops. Fill their homes and their lives with your strength and peace and union with people of goodwill of every nation. Embolden us to answer the call to work for peace and justice, and thus seek an end to violence and conflict around the globe. We ask this through your name.
Detail, present, ho! Order. Ho! Detail. Forward. Run. Right. Haste. Forward. Halt.
This concludes our ceremony. Thank you, everyone, for coming out today. Thank you.
Good afternoon. We're here at Stony Road doing our annual Memorial Day wreath laying. Before we actually commence, I'm going to call up Jim Muller from the American Legion. And Gavin Kaspersky, can you please step up here?
Gavin, please come up front. The American Legion Certificate of Appreciation. This certificate of appreciation is gratefully presented to Gavin Kaspersky in recognition and sincere appreciation of outstanding service and assistance which contributed to the advancement of the American Legion programs and activities dedicated to God and country, Edison Veterans Alliance. Signed by three commanders, myself, Dave Tingle, and Philippe Alveri from 3117. Thank you. Gavin, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And now we're going to continue with our ceremony. Today's ceremony, we go and lay wreaths at all the flags, and we're going to hear from a couple dignitaries. But first, earlier today, we were doing our normal street sign ceremony, and we did it at Edison High School. And we would like to thank the Edison Board of Education and those at Edison High, the maintenance crew that was there helping us. They did an outstanding job. It was our first time at that venue, and it turned out to be an absolute success. So at this point, I'd like to call up the mayor for a few short words. Hello, everyone. Very humbled and honored to be here today on Memorial Day. I want to thank everyone who have served in our military and our armed forces. We are deeply indebted to you as well as your families for all that you have done for our country. We would only be here enjoying the freedoms that we do because of your selfless service to our nation and our country. We enjoy these liberties because of you. We are very thankful to you. And let's remember all those lives that we have lost for those who have served in the military. And let's honor them every single day. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to call up Assemblyman Karabinchak.
Thank you. It's always an honor to be here today supporting our troops. Today is so special for all of the men and women who have served and have paid the ultimate price. To them, their families, today's just one day to remember. But like I've always said, every time I've come to this mic, at this memorial here, you should remember this every single day you get up, for those freedoms that you have, and to be able to do anything you want in this great nation. So God bless you, God bless your families, and God bless all the vets. Thank you.
Thank you. And now Councilman Joe Coyle.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm just honored to be here today, and I'm also very thankful for all the servicemen who are here today, and thank you for your service. Also, I don't want to forget all the brave souls who have fallen and those we have to remember forever each day. But also important and equal to that is the women who also served and wore the uniform as well. Those women who also were on the front lines as nurses, caretakers, and still today we have many caretakers we have to be thankful for. We're still part of your family every day, brothers, sisters, uncles, cousins, or dear friends. It's definitely a lot of work caretaking for someone. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to start our leaf rain at all the flags representing the services of the United States of America. It is the soldier, not the minister, who has given us freedom of religion. It is the airman, not the reporter, who has given us freedom of the press. It is the sailor, not the poet, who has given us freedom of speech. It is the Coastie, not the campus organizer, who has given us freedom to protest. It is the Marine, not the lawyer, who has given us the right to a fair trial. It is the military, not the politician, who has given us the right to vote. It is the servicemen and women who salute the flag, who serve beneath the flag, and whose coffin is draped by the flag, who allows the protester to burn the flag. And salute.
Bugler. Day is done. On the sun, from the hills, from the lakes, from the shore. All is well. Safely rest. God is nine. 2.
I want to thank everybody for joining us here. Also like to thank Bob Deal, who's been a great help on all our Veterans Organization street signs here at the park. Everything that we do, Bob's, every time I call him, Bob picks up the phone. I appreciate that, Bob. Also, County Commissioner Charlie Tamara, thank you for being here. The county's the one who donates the wreaths for us on Memorial Day. And, oh, I forgot, we do have one more wreath. We have the wreath that goes out on Stony Road that was donated from the United Auto Workers, who used to have their Union Hall on Vineyard Road when the Ford plant was still part of Edison. That concludes our ceremony. I want to thank everybody for coming out here. Turned out to be a gorgeous day for us, and I hope everybody has a good remainder Memorial Day. Thank you.